Hello, my name is Tamir Sammy Diab. I'd love to tell you a little bit about my journey in 3D and film. I studied psychology in undergrad, was going down the public health route, and was doing research and got into 3D, taking a part-time class. From there, jumped to Vancouver Film School. I jumped into commercials first and knew pretty quickly that I wanted to get into film. So I just kept kind of chipping away. Caught a break on Shark Boy and Lava Girl. That's my very first film. I worked in feature animation for a little bit. I worked on Ice Age 2, and then I wanted to get into like visual effects, like in proper like live action visual effects as opposed to feature animation. Was just trying to get work that could show photoreal sort of renders, and what I was at the time, Lord of the Rings and all that, was like, okay, this is the goal, to try to get into try to work on creatures like Gollum, right? Just working at building a portfolio and keep sending stuff to Weta or at other companies, and finally they responded, and I was like, oh, that's amazing. It was a 3-month contract, and once we got there, I realized at that point that this was like another level of professionalism, or like, let's say, perfectionism, even in the art of visual effects. My very first day of dailies, I was assigned to a show called The Water Horse, which is about like the Loch Ness monster. It's pretty neat film, family film. Went to dailies, and senior visual effects supervisor there, Joe Lettieri, was running a session, and they had the character Crusoe up on the screen. And to me, this is my first daily session at Weta, and I'm like, this is amazing. Like, that looks like a final shot. It's done. And he had a note, and he was like, can we just dial up the spec a little bit on the meniscus in the eye, and I couldn't even see what, like, I was just like, okay, all right, that's it's a note. And then the next iteration, it was just that just added the photoreal. So like, I was just like, I believe those eyes. And at that point I was like, wow, like, these guys are serious, right? So it's a lot of fun. Anyway, I'm talking about Weta a lot. I don't know if that's okay, Audrey, like, but
Look, I was at Weta for a while.
oh,
I was in the creature department, so I think I'm after you, because my first film was 1010 and Rise.
okay, yeah. So right? Like,
I
like, you
know
can set
Joe. Joe is
right?
amazing, super
Amazing.
talented, super talented. I mean, there's nobody like him in the
Yeah.
business at all. I mean, they're excellence, those guys.
I think that's why I speak of Weta so much, is because I feel like I was very fortunate to experience that. And now here, in Toronto, I'm at Pixamundo now, and wonderful, wonderful people. And it's a lot of fun to be able to, try to bring little pieces of that to wherever I'm working. And right now, as a CG supervisor, I'm just I'm allowing this wonderful team to do their thing, hearing people out, and getting to that vision in a collaborative way, right? That's where I'm at right now. Yeah, so what still inspires me, I mean, I think kind of a little bit of what I was saying at the end there is, coming back here on the East Coast in Montreal. The artists that I met were just absolutely just like amazing, just amazing human beings. And I think that's what kind of drives me, is like seeing this hunger and this talent I once had. I'm a lot older now, right? But like, this idea of like, I want to create beautiful art, right? And seeing that and being able to help artists maybe like get to that point, not that I'm any sort of whatever, but like, the idea is that we do it together. That's what kind of keeps me going. Like, it's just like this, it's a teaching thing. It's fun. It's like passing it down kind of thing. That's what I think elevates the whole process, I think. Yeah, so that's what I kind of love. That's a good question. Yeah, so I think, don't take things too seriously. I know that, at least for me, there's this tendency, I think, for a lot of artists to doubt, because we can always make it better, or we can iterate, and trust that you're on the right path, and don't be too hard on yourself. If if you submit something for reviews, right, and that day you don't necessarily get the best review, or you get a lot of notes, let's say, in your mind, just look at it as like, what, it's part of the process, and you'll get there, and you're doing what you're doing because you enjoy it, and just keep going, kind of thing. I think also to speak to minorities, that even of faith as well, right? That being proud of being Muslim. We have an opportunity to tell our stories as well in the industry, right? And there are many more of us than you think. Whatever drives you, believe in yourself and go for it, right? Like, that's what I would say.